Hello and welcome to another Warhammer Fantasy Battle Report. This one is first game played in a while. We're both pretty rusty, we both make some serious mistakes. You can see I'm already taking the pictures the wrong way around. But we played 2,600 points Dawn Attack, and I only had to place a couple guys here on the right, my Glade Riders and one Eagle. I have another Eagle, 20 or 14, I can't really remember, 14 archers, 9 Wild Riders with a Wild Rider Noble. With the Dawn Spear, it's a little bit closer, I have 27 Glade Guard with my Highborn General, Spellweaver, and BSB. Behind them I have 10 War Dancers, and then behind them I have another 12 or so Glade Guard. Here I've got some Way Watchers, so I've taken a bunch of different guys this time. He has a Wolf Chariot down right, you can't see him, on his far left flank. 2 Rock Lobbers, 60 Savage Orc Biggins, a whole mess of Goblins, and then on top he has a bunch of Black Orcs. And unfortunately they got stuck in the far corner due to rolling, unluckily, and they're a long ways out of the battle. But, you know, that's one of the things we learned, and we learned a good deal from that as well. So, I get first turn. I move everything forward. I'm protecting the flank here against his chariots, but I leave my Way Watchers out there. I'm really good at throwing those points away. And I keep the bulk of my other units back. I've got all the fast guys on this side, thinking I can shoot his Rock Lobber with my Way Watchers, and I don't really do any damage. I shoot with my Glade Guard and kill him. You can see here, really sweet setup. I think I'm so cool. But I'm not thinking this Wolf Chariot's going to get in there. Of course, he goes over the river, gets me, passes his fear test, and does 7 impact hits or something ridiculous. Kills a whole mess of my guys. 1 or 2 survive and they run away, and it's just a disaster. So that's a whole bunch of points down the tube right away. First turn. So after he charges, he moves up with everything. The Black Orcs in the far part are a long ways away. They have a hard time getting here. The Goblins move up just a little bit. He's got a Shaman in there. And then his big unit of Savage Orcs here moved up. He's got his General there in... Sorry, I think that's a BSB on a horse, or it's his Wizard on a horse, second from our right. And what he does is he moves up here, he casts the Gork's Warpath, which lets him, as successful, move 5d6, the amplified spell, move 5d6 forward in any direction and reform there. And so he uses this unit and casts it to move into my War Dancers. In retrospect, he should have done it on his Black Orcs and brought them into much closer to the fray, and then all of a sudden he wouldn't be so far away. But he moves in, destroys my War Dancers. I try to killing blow his guys, and of course do not successfully do so. Why would one expect to be able to do so? And he just mows them down. So that's another big chunk of points gone. But I'm thinking, all right, he overruns, and what I get to do is reform to flank and rear charge him. He's going to reform to face me, but that's okay. I'm not too worried. In the background there, my Eagles moved up to charge block and charge bait. You can see a little bit better here. He's got all these guys, if they charge him, they're going to be way out of the way, or he can attack the trebuchet. So what I've done here is I can't remember if he hits me with a rock or I wound myself, but in my unit, they're stubborn because I have a Highborn. My Spellweaver has the unit that gives the item that gives the whole unit 5+ ward save. My General has a Spirit Sword, which if I wound, we roll, and the difference, add your leadership, and the difference number of wounds you deal. And then I've got a BSB who's has good armor. Basically, that's my big block unit, and that's what I'm banking everything on. So here you can see, this is now turn 3. I've charged his trebuchet, not trebuchet, but Rock Lobber in the back. I've moved my other Great Eagle up, and my Glade Riders are getting ready to go. I'm shooting at him in the middle, and I double charge here. My Eternal Guard are buffed up. They all have a 5+ ward save. They now have toughness 7 with the enhanced Lore of Life spell, and I'm feeling pretty good about things. My Wild Rider guy with the Dawn Spear, he's got a bunch of attacks. He attacks first. If he wounds, then the whole unit gets at -1 to attack. So I'm thinking he'll go in, he'll hit first, and everyone else will attack me back. He's got a lot of high strength attacks, but he won't be able to hit me back. And it worked really well in the game before, and that's the plan for this game too. Here's the other unit of Glade Guard. They're just looking cool over here in the setting sun, taking pot shots at whatever they can. Not a whole lot going on, but just shooting away, having a grand old time. About as good as it gets. They're kind of protected behind this barrier. Here's kind of a close-up. I've charged into his rock lobber, and I'm just behind him here. Once again, I can't remember what character that was, but you know, the goal is to get that guy out of the way. So here we go. Combat. I charge in. I'm buffed up with Eternal Guard. I've got my ward saves, my Wild Riders, all these good attacks, all this. I fluff a whole bunch of them, and they all die, which is not so great. Not so great at all. I attack back. I do a bunch of wounds, but I get a whole bunch of overkill, a whole bunch of static combat res, and I had like the war banner in here too. I was just really ticked off. Really ticked off. That's all I kill. But that being said, I can't remember which 1 or 2 rounds against these guys, but I'm able to destroy them. Well, not destroy them, but beat them in combat. They flee, and of course I don't catch them. But I try. I don't get there. That would have been really great. In his turn, he's going to be able to reform to face me. And you can see in the background how things, well, you can't, it's not too great to see in the background, but everything's coming up around these guys. So these guys reform to face me, everyone else moves forward. I'm just shooting at the goblins, not doing a whole lot of damage. And here, my thoughts are, I'll move my Eternal Guard up, just sit there in front of this and defend this barricade, and keep him buffed, keep buffing him. He doesn't have a spellcaster, so I'm able to pretty much cast whatever I want. I do Dwellers Below in this unit in front of me, whittle them down a whole bunch, and he's forgetting to take the spell dice that he gets and dispel my stuff, even if he tries to spell a few things, but he doesn't dispel my Remains in Play spell, so Throne of Vine stays up. And then I also mistakenly keep the plus to my toughness, thinking it's Remains in Play, but it's not. But I had enough dice that I would have been able to cast anyways, pretty much with impunity. So he charges me. In my turn, I had charged his Goblin unit in the flank with my Glade Riders, and in the rear with my Eagle. I've killed his Rock Lobber in the back. This time, we fight. I destroy him. I win. Actually, I let him run. He runs off the board, and I just reform the face. That's his general, all alone in the middle. I believe he's tried to charge me, just to try to get in there. And he's kind of nervous. I'm shooting at him, but he's got a great armor and great ward save, so of course I can't kill him. But I'm just trying, you know. He's in a pretty bad predicament, and just going with the dice gods and throwing it out there. So I move forward a little bit, and what I do, I cast Dwellers Below. So here's his Black Orc unit. It's pretty much all he's got left. His general's there. Going to be hard to beat, but with a little combat resolution, I should be able to take care of it. So what I do, I cast Dwellers Below. I throw everything I've got. I might have Irresistible Force, whatever, but with Throne of Vines, I roll a 5 and I get to ignore it, which is what is awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. So I hit him. He starts taking guys off the table. He keeps taking guys off the table. And by now, he's in a pretty dire predicament. I'm defeating his goblins. Soon they're not going to be steadfast. I've taken this many off with one Throne of Vines. He's got himself charge blocked, and I should be able to just keep casting this at him with impunity. So it's the end of turn 5. He, it's taken away some of my big units, but basically I'm going to be able to kill everything else he's got. And that's pretty cool. So he shakes my hand, in defeat and surrenders, and I get a victory here. It was actually a great game. We had a lot of fun. It went really fast. We laughed a lot, and you know, kept realizing it's been a long time. And we kept making all these silly mistakes, and yeah, it was good. It was really good to play again. So in any case, another good victory for the Wood Elves. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll have another battle report up with some ogres very soon. Thank you much. Lane out.